Thank you, Mr. Guardian, for coming to take photos. ACK Kevin.
1 minute.
You're good.
Yes, we're going to Sweden. Cool. Hi, camera. Hi, stream. Sleep deprivation, guys. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah. What time were you up until?
Me?
Yeah.
Like 3 o'clock, guys?
No, yeah. I think I was up.
Had the concert, and then drank.
And then drank some more.
And then I ate for the first time.
Yeah. I think I was up until 3 trying to get this together. We're live?
Yep, there it is.
Hi, Twitch. Oh, they're remote control? Hey, thanks, Tech Guardians. I saw what you did there. All right, so welcome to the Community Photographers panel, which right now is only 2 of us. That's good. I am Connor MacRae of Connor MacRae Media. Yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years. And to my left?
And I'm Sonia Carter of Soulfire Photography. I guess I need to get right up on the mic. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get it's too close. But I'm Soulfire Photography. Hi guys, how are you doing? And apparently there's some people from Australia tuning into this. It's 5 a.m. Why? Why? So anyway, hi guys.
All right, so, and that's about as much as we planned. I mean, quite literally.
I mean, I put work into it.
I mean, you put some work.
I
So
put more work into it than you
the
did.
whole, yeah, you did. I just took stuff off my website. I didn't make anything new. Yeah. So the plan was to do basically a long Q&A, and depending on how that screen was, which we knew was bad, basically my edit process is rather quick, just based on my style. Actually, I can go back to that. Oh wait, that's one of hers.
Hey.
Yeah.
Actually,
We'll go back to that.
Daniel took that picture.
Daniel took that photo. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you're in it.
Because I'm in it.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
Another one of hers. So, and this is Dominic's. I'll just go through real quick. My style is a very run and gun, events, sports, not much. Oh, there's Dominic. Hi, Dominic. Not very much setup, things like that. So that's where I do like my bread and butter. So events like this is my fun. I'll take thousands of photos and then maybe get 10% of that. In contrast, though,
I tend to do everything. You put something in front of me and I'll figure out how to work it. I started off with random hall photography at anime cons, and then ended up working with just local cosplayers. Started doing weddings, which that was like out of the frying pan and into the fire. I also do engagements, just conceptual work. And I'm starting to get into landscape photography, slowly but surely. So, what about you?
Hi everybody, sorry I'm late. My name is Dominic. I go by Count3D everywhere, and yes, photography. Okay.
What is your photography style, Dominic?
Cinema verite, a fly on the wall. I was obsessed with being a journalist when I was in high school, and I really liked being able to write stories and report on information and share them with the world. And I was going to fan events. I was volunteering at fan events. Rooster Teeth's earliest community events, RBBTO in Toronto. I just started taking photos just for the fun of it, and quickly expanded to taking more photos more seriously, to the point where I got to take photos with Connor at RTX for a couple of years. And it's just been an amazing way for me to connect with the community and to connect with other people and to have a history and a legacy of memories. So that's where my interest has been in photography. So I'm looking to expand more, because thanks to events like Fan Expo, Comic-Con, PAX, with a wealth of cosplayers and a wealth of amazing artists, it's been one way that I've wanted to expand my own art, and that has allowed me to do that.
all right. What?
What's next?
All right, what's next? So the slideshow that's rolling right now is an amalgamation of many things, just so you guys are aware. The photos don't really all jive together. Oh, there's John. Hey, John. These photos are basically amalgamations of different styles and subjects of photography. So everything from here, this is last year, Caden proposing, all that stuff. You saw some product photography. You've seen a bunch of just little promo shots here and there. And that's just basically to show you the different kinds of things. Oh, there's Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Andy in his normal, that's most of his faces.
Yes, yes.
But this whole slideshow is basically just to say, you can shoot anything and never master any one of it, but just always keep shooting. There's a famous photographer whose name I forget now, actually Australian. He has a shirt that always says, "Get your gear out." So if you have any interest in photography at all, it's just making sure you're taking photos, because that's how you grow and learn all those things. And especially working with other photographers, like somebody. Oh, wait.
And Connor, they always say the best camera you have is the one you have on you.
Yes, they do.
Camera
oh, wait.
phones.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm
who
John.
are you?
I am fashionably late because I'm super hungover from last night.
John, I was late, and now you made me look good, so thank you.
You're welcome. I drank 7 beers in an hour and a half last night during our panel.
Jesus.
I'm still alive. It's a miracle of science.
All right.
But yes, I do photo stuffs.
You do photo stuffs. What's your name?
John.
What's your tag?
John.
That's it? Seriously? All right, I'll take that.
Twitter is that film guy, but RT site is John.
There we go. All right, so what's your style?
So I actually used to do a lot of event photography, back with RVBTO back in the day, and I got really burnt out on photos after that, and so I actually switched over to more like nature and stuff like that, and I now exclusively only shoot. It's gonna sound really fucking nerdy. I exclusively shoot on 35mm stills, because I got to the point where I was
Hipster.
Yeah, I got to the point where I was like shooting, 2,000 photos in a weekend and like publishing 100, and I wasn't being selective enough. I felt like my style was just like, get everything and hopefully I get something good. And so by switching over to 35mm film, I had 36 shots. That's all I could get. I have to make every one of them count. So it kind of retrained me to be a better photographer in that, all right, no, this shot with these people isn't worth me burning a slide. So it really helped me regain my eye. Because I do a lot of video work now, and so doing that helped me kind of.
I was going to bring that up, John, in that you're also a competent camera operator, cinematographer, and so what came first? Was it the camera work? I'm curious to actually know. Did you go into film first, or did you go into photography first?
So I went to film school, and I always had an interest in photography, and I started on a Nikon still camera. But then when Canon released their DSLRs with video capabilities, it really revolutionized the game, and so I switched over to DSLR video, and that kind of took hold. But with having that capability in the camera, I was doing both video and film, and now it's almost exclusively video, like with RED cameras and larger format sensors, and then for fun now, 35 stills.
Classy.
More like lazy.
Classy. We'll go with classy.
Did you put the green screen shot in here?
Which green screen shot?
The pure green screen, comp
Oh,
shot?
it already went by.
I know. Did you actually put the whole stages of?
Yeah, no, that's in the before and after.
Okay, yeah. I just want to show this real quick because it makes me laugh hysterically.
Oh, yeah, there's multiple of them.
Yeah. The file name in and of itself, Crispy Pira, Crispy Pira 2, and then the final Crispy Pira number 3.
I'm not sure if you guys follow my Tumblr, but I put like a pretty in-depth description on my Tumblr of this situation right here. I've been sitting on these photos for about 4 years. We ended up shooting at the studio in the green screen area, and we started with the Cinder shoot, where it was me and Torchwick, Sheena and her Cinder, and then whenever I started to prep for this shot, I had Monty sit down and be like, Monty, stay here. He's like, what? And I was like, no, stay there. And so I got her the correct height, and then I was like, okay, Sheena, go change. And I didn't let Monty move. He wasn't allowed to move because we needed a placeholder. And so she changed in the Pira real quick, came back, knelt down, and after that I ended up having to work with my dad to isolate the assets from the photos, and ended up just taking that into Photoshop, piecing it together, finagling a broken moon somehow. Actually, I'm most proud of that. And I wanted to kick myself because my photography style 4 years ago is totally different than what I do now. And I probably did it the wrong way to put it together like it should have been, but I think it turned out okay. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
Ish. That's the story. How was the... Oh, yes, you were the heat. Yeah, Daniel held up the fan.
Yeah.
Yes, for the blowback.
All right, so we got 50 minutes left. Good Lord. Well, all right.
Now I don't feel bad
let's
about being late.
Do you want to do Q&A while I edit something? Yeah.
Go for it. Any questions?
All right, so real quick, we've taken a lot of photos over the weekend. We have a guardian here who's going to bring around the mic. Jeff Williams had a concert last night. Some of you maybe. How many of you were there at the concert?
Lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many of you went to D&D? That was way better.
I mean, I did want to see that, I'm not going to lie. But I ended up needing to take photos, and I cried
No,
like
that's
a
fine.
bitch.
We'll be releasing it eventually. It was fun.
Oh,
Did anybody
good.
go to the side quest party?
Yes.
There we go.
So yeah, I'm gonna edit one or two photos here real quick from the show because I can edit fast, and that's really all I'm gonna do. And they're gonna answer questions, and if it comes to me, then I'll go.
So we have a question from a lady in the front.
Oh,
Hi,
crap.
Mika.
Hi, Sonia. I have a question.
What's your question?
Nope, it's like a genuine question.
Okay.
So, in all of your photography that I see, or lots of your photography that I see, you are really good with edits, with like effects and things that I could never even fathom on how to do that. Did you teach that yourself, or?
Completely self-taught. I graduated with a degree in biology, minors in Chinese studies and geoscience, and I focus on plant biology. So it's like I literally have never taken a photography class in my entire life.
So
It's all
you
books and
figured
Google.
if you could take apart biology, if you could take apart everything like that, you could figure out a camera. You could take
Oh,
that
yeah, it's
apart
easy.
and
It's easy.
okay, nice.
If I can grow zombie plants, I can work a camera.
So yeah, I went to film school, and a lot of the same concepts between photography and film transfer. So I knew about like composition and stuff like that. And for the editing, I did take an intro to film class to kind of learn the programs. But the stuff I learned in class about visually about how I wanted it to look came from just my personal style and eye. Like I like it a little more saturated, or I want to I want to mess with the contrast and put some effects. But yeah, so mine's a little mix of self and classroom.
I also went to film school, and yeah, man.
Film school buddies. Except
I'm a
in different
lone
countries.
scientist.
We did learn the basics, but I always found the technology was changing so constantly. It was harder for me to adapt, and I'm first to admit I am not the most technically minded person. So, like Sonia, a lot of it I found was just more going out and experimenting, and really just going back through history and seeing different styles that have worked. Magic realism. I love natural light. I hate using flash, and because I find flash is obtrusive.
What do you mean by, you said magical light? Or did you say natural?
Natural.
Natural light.
I thought you
sorry.
said magical for some odd reason.
Magical light would be really good. That's
That's
a
magic
style.
hour. There's only an
Yeah.
hour of that. Well, technically
Yeah.
2 hours in the morning and the evening.
Yeah.
You know what city has the best magic hour?
Pacific
Vancouver.
River with smash face.
Really?
Maybe. I know. They shoot sci-fi movies there all the time, and it's because of the weird light that we have going on there. I don't know why, but seriously, every single show right now seems to be made in Vancouver. It's like,
Tax incentives. Tax incentives are great.
anyway, so like Sonia, I've found more, I've learned more from going out and experimenting and giving myself exercises for things to take, trying to line things up so that it creates a bit of an optical illusion is always fun. Testing what you can do. I love getting behind things. I love getting behind like chain link fences or
Yeah.
creating a bit of depth that way from something that.
I'll still go back,
Yeah.
like when I start getting the itch to do photography, I'll just like kind of remember some of my class assignments, like
Yeah.
abstract patterns of light and shadow. I'm like, that was a fun one. I'm gonna go do that again. And I'll go out with my camera. I'll just try to find abstract patterns of light and shadow.
Well, I just love shapes, circles, triangles, squares. I see them everywhere, and it's just you start to you start to notice that after a while. You teach your brain that. One of the best tools for that is actually Pixar movies. If you
Okay,
think
that's
about it,
very
you start
true.
to see those
very
everywhere. Buzz Lightyear, round, positive shape, triangles equals death. Trust me, just watch, you'll see it.
All right. Next question. The
Go to the
sir,
closer.
sir with the glasses and the black shirt had
Well,
the
we got
hand up
we
first.
got
Or
a microphone.
ma'am. Sir, ma'am. I need new glasses, so let's be real.
I was confused.
Photographer can't
A
see
photographer
shit.
that can't see.
And I'm the drunk one.
Hey, my
Although,
dad.
to be fair,
my,
there- no, no.
my dad's an artist, like physical artist. He works with paint and he sculpts. He's colorblind, so don't start
No,
shit.
no, no. There actually is a. I forget his name now. There's a really cool. He actually is a blind photographer, and basically just does these crazy like time lapse styles. Like they're really
that's
just
pretty
long
neat.
exposures, and he just literally hears, and that's what he does. But,
Neat. Yeah, that's pretty
Okay. So as an amateur photographer, how do you get such like perfect photos? Like, I guess HD would be the word for it.
Go to
Like,
my
how
before
do
and
you
after.
What?
get to that
before
point?
and after. Yep.
We're-
The
we're
short
gonna
answer. The
show
short
you.
answer is practice,
not perfect.
practice,
I was
practice.
gonna say, do I have good photos? I don't think
Which
I
one?
do.
Let's do
You want that one?
That one.
Yeah, that's the easy one.
All right, this was taken at KatsuCon 2015. As you can see, it is not perfect.
Oh, you have an expectation for. There you
I
go.
do. I have an explanation. This is a very iconic scene in the Sailor Moon manga. I don't know if they put it into Crystal yet. Not sure. But we had to take about 10 or 15 shots to get this, to get the hair correct, to get... I had to do a separate shot to get the lighting correct as well. Because, as you can see, the original shot is really dark. It's too dark. But what I wanted was the depth of the background, and if I have the information for the front, I can just lighten that up. So it's a matter of knowing what you want after the shot and knowing how to get there. You can go for the perfect shot, which is, you can definitely do. With cosplay, it's a little bit more difficult if you know if you want to do like a crazy composition afterwards. Like at weddings, you generally want to go for the perfect shot as you're going. Because when you're culling through photos for weddings, it's like 500 to 800 photos.
Now, how long would you say that took you on location to shoot?
On location, this shoot?
Not including your post-production time. Just like how long was that shot?
The entire shoot itself, including the other poses, was about 45 minutes. This shot took 5.
So that's the other thing is like time. Like
Yeah.
these aren't just snapshots. I did a recreation of the Death of Marat,
Ooh,
which was a
nice.
Baroque painting. It was 4 hours for a single shot.
Yeah.
Between makeup, prop setup, getting the lighting right, it was about 4 hours to get a shot.
Yeah.
So we don't create like it's from amateur to professional is knowing like I'm not just gonna magically have a great picture. It's willing to put in the time
Yeah.
to make a great picture.
Thank you.
Do we have internet?
Yeah, I got internet.
Go to my Flickr. Pull up that Death of Marat.
Okay.
Actually, because I put a description of how I did it. Cool.
You.
Next question.
What is your Flickr?
My first initial last name.
Teal
Okay.
shirt right there, had it up after Lady in the Black.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, eat the mic. There we go.
There it is. Can you
Oh,
hear it?
thank
Okay.
you. So I've been amateur for about 4 to 5 years.
Are you spelling it?
And I really love events. That's
Jay said that?
that's
Jay?
where
No,
that's
no,
where
no, just-
like I think you said that's my bread and butter. That's where I feel more
Mhm.
comfortable. And I like that snap and go and just you're running and you have to get it right then. But what's the next step? Like I'm going to school for this. It's just it feels like from where I am to suddenly say yes, you can hire me for your wedding. Like that just feels like a huge jump. Is there like a middle ground or do I just have to dive head first?
I kind of dove head first into weddings. You don't want to do that. It's scary. It's really scary. I ended up being pulled onto my first wedding because it was a last minute wedding. They needed a photographer. I was someone they knew, and I was like, okay, all right. And then the worst thing happened at this wedding. It was supposed to be outside. It rained all day. All day. It was supposed to be outside someone's house. Ended up being inside someone's house. And there were walls and white, just bounce areas everywhere. So the flash was going insane. Literally, my first wedding was a nightmare. But I dove head first into it, and that was literally the worst wedding I've ever done. So sometimes you do have to dive head first, but I mean, you guys, did you start out with event photography and move?
Yeah,
Just jump?
like I said, I started with college and I worked in the equipment office, so I had access to the cameras. And I used photography as a way to become more of a social little butterfly that I am. And that, like, when I went to RVBTO, I was super introverted, and so I used that, and I just started doing event photography at RVBTO to kind of introduce myself
Ditto.
to people. Yeah, they're like, hey, look at this picture I took of you. Would you like me to send it to you? And it was a way for me to kind of, like, open up to people, and then they just kept having me come back more and more, and eventually I was, like, the official photographer. I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this?
You're good.
I don't need to be the social butterfly anymore, and so RVBTO, eventually I moved to, like, when I was living in Philly, I could just drive up, but as I moved down to Austin, it's like, yeah, I can't really go to Toronto every summer anymore to do this.
It's really funny where you say that, John, because your photography at RVTO made me want to step up my photography game, because I was taking photos at RVTO, but not the way you were taking photos. I was just taking photos because it didn't seem like a lot of people were back then.
No.
As a way to preserve the history and about the community.
And that's what it was, is like, this is all pre-RTX, when this was how we met up with the internet. Like, this was the big event. And so I wanted to capture beautiful portraits, mostly, of people having a great time. So I would, like, when people were coming in, I set up, like, hey, if you want to get a portrait taken, everybody would have a nice portrait, but then also, like, trying to get really beautiful shots of people enjoying themselves. That way they can say, hey, the internet isn't a bunch of creeps. We're having fun. We're enjoying each other's company, and we're, having a good time.
I will say
Oh,
to her
hey.
point as well. Yeah, to her point as well. As far as wedding photography goes, you can take the dive-in approach, which works for some, clearly, because she does it a lot now.
It's terrifying.
What I have done is I've offered to be a second shooter to someone, which is, some would say, the more traditional approach to go about it, because there's a lot you can learn. And wedding photography is definitely one of those things where it's a one-shot opportunity. There's one first kiss, there's one first dance, there's one bouquet guard toss, there's one cake toss. Yeah, it's not Stevie Aoki.
Cake toss. How would you toss
But that's
a cake?
one of those things of knowing where you need to be at what certain, for lack of a better term, tempo points, is things that you can learn a lot better from someone who has done it. Event photography, by contrast, there is nothing planned. There is not, like I have this wonderful little quarterback sheet that is my RTX Sunday, and only I think the first thing of the day is actually accurate to what I did. It's just because you have to be adaptable and ready to move and run and go, and hey, I
And
remember
with
that.
most photos from event photography, they're all happy little accidents.
Oh god, yeah.
It's a happy little bush.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's never a good unless you're just doing like a staged cosplay shoot. Like, some of the best event photography ones you get are just like, you're there in the moment and you got lucky.
Like this stuff on screen right now, which was backstage before the panel, like maybe the 5 minutes prior, which I used a whole bunch of Guardians to set this up in the first place. The girl shoot.
Yeah.
I can kind of see.
No, there's no, yeah. I mean, that's honestly like the event photography, which I can speak to the most, is I personally take a lot, and I'm willing to sift through it, but more often than not, you're going to know really quickly if I was like, took a shot, got it, okay, no. So it's all just a matter of feeling out and figuring out. The biggest thing is finding your style.
Yeah. Evolve past it. Once
Yeah.
you get to a place that you're relatively happy with, look into something else. Like, knowledge is something meant to be shared. And if you find yourself satisfied with where you are, you don't want to grow anymore. So you always want to grow. So if you're like, oh, I like event photography, this is nice, but I'd like to do something a little bit more organized, go to some of the people that liked your event photos and be like, hey, you're great in front of a camera. You want to do a portrait shoot? I need to work on this. So it's all practice and reaching out and just trying new stuff.
Picks for trade.
And it's going to suck at first. Oh, my God. I look back at my work from 2008. Oh, God, no. It was bad.
Just make sure that's wrong. Yeah. All right, next question.
I guess camera guy here in the front.
Yeah. What kind of camera is that? Hey.
It's a 70G Canon.
Nice.
Sweet.
It's one of those things I got into just taking pictures with my iPhone, and I evolved into this.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, how many of your photos have to be post-processed through either a light shop or...
All of them.
All.
Yeah.
All.
We shoot. I'm assuming we all shoot RAW, which means that is not a deliverable format. So every single photo that we publish will go through post processing.
Okay,
That's
makes
not
sense.
my answer.
And
You
then
don't
the-
shoot RAW?
Oh, I shoot RAW, but not every single one goes through post-processing.
Do you convert it to a JPEG?
God, no.
Do you convert it to a TIFF? Do you convert it to a file
No,
that
no,
somebody...
no, no.
PNG?
I keep it as .nef and I upload it, but then
Oh.
I sift through. I pick the ones that are decent.
Eh.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, not every photo we take, I'm sure is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Not every photo we take it will get processed. So, say for example, right here, I have this timeline of just
a metric
100.
fuck ton of photos.
Yeah, I take a lot. But this is the same shot right here. So there is 3 of just a minor different angle of me taking a picture of everyone with their iPhones doing the wavy thing. One of those was gonna make it.
So I guess.
And there's gonna be something incidental, or I'm sorry, inconsequential words.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Words.
something specific that will make it so that that's the winning one, and then I edit from there.
Okay.
So.
So
but-
I guess the answer is it depends on what you're shooting.
Yeah.
If you're going for the Marat shot,
The what? Oh, the Death of
how
Marat?
many, how many shots did you take of that?
Probably 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really good shot, man.
Thank you.
That like.
But yeah, that was like
1
a-
out of 10. That's fantastic.
Well, it's like because I spent 4 hours. It's kind of like back in the old film days, you would do like 5 rehearsals and then get your couple takes on film.
Yeah.
Well, I spent 4 hours getting it right and looking through the camera before. And the only reason I got 10 is I got it on the first one. I got 10 for safety, just to be safe.
Absolutely. Like for my weddings, I take about, depending on how big the wedding is,
Yeah.
I take between 2,000 and 3,000 pictures. I end up giving them between 600 and 800.
Yeah. But yeah,
So-
that was, like I said, 4 hours of setup, just dialing in that light, just, putting a cutter in there so it falls the right way. And so it's like, all right, I have what I need, but in the film industry, we would say one more for safety. So just, if you think you got it,
Absolutely.
just get one more.
So when you guys are doing this kind of photography, and everything's quick on the fly, how many adjustments do you have to make through your ISO and aperture settings and everything else? Do you stick with 1 or 2 settings for this type of environment, or are you constantly changing?
Constantly changing.
Yeah, it really, because your photo from right in here to just right on the other side door is going to look drastically different if you have the exact same settings. So you got to just constantly tweak it for wherever you're at. And sometimes that's bumping the ISO, sometimes it's changing your aperture, sometimes it's your shutter speed. If you want to get some cool lighting effects, with like the concert where you got all those streams, maybe you want it, there's a billion different things.
Next. I don't know.
Spider-Man.
Oh. Spider-Man.
Hi.
It's not actually Spider-Man.
So I'm a professional photographer. Went to school and all that stuff. I got the style down.
Mm-hmm.
And I work at a studio, but I really want to I got into cosplay photography when I was in college, and then I got out and I've been just doing kind of like mundane, like senior portraits and all that stuff at my job. But I really want to get back into it and get my name out more. How do what's the next step? Like, what do you recommend doing?
Do you have
for
an
that?
Instagram account?
I do not have Instagram. I do have a Tumblr.
Instagram really
Um,
helps. A lot of cosplayers use Instagram, and I
Okay.
use it for like preview shots of my work.
Think about maybe, some people like to have a personal one and a more professional one that's kind of their identity. I just go with Count 3D everywhere, so it's easier for,
Yeah.
I guess, branding purposes. People can find me that way. But that's something you might consider doing because, not just posting from your phone, but also posting photos from that you've edited or worked with after to there. It's just an easy way for people to get, I can see what this guy's style is like.
And yeah, especially social media, because like hashtags, like people are just gonna they're gonna be on somebody else's thing, and they're gonna like hashtag cosplay photography. They're gonna click on that, and you're gonna show up in that, and then they'll see it, and then get people to see you, get people to eventually follow you, and then you build a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a matter of finding out who's near you, which actually, I'm totally not promoting this. This is actually a really cool website. It's Cospix. They
Okay.
have
Oh, yeah.
people go on and they register and they say, it's like, oh, I'm in this state or I'm in this city. And you can say, hey, I'm a photographer, I live in this city, and you can look around you to see who's around, and then you can send them a message
Oh,
if you're
that's cool.
interested in working with them. Also, if you know if there's like a convention or a photo gathering near you, you can see if you can join in. For photo gatherings, some of them take applications. It
Okay.
depends. But a lot of people will post in there, almost like on forums. They'll be like, hey, I have this outfit. I'm looking for a photographer. What are your rates? That sort of thing.
Awesome. Thank you. And it's Justin Cunningham Photo, if you guys want to look any of my stuff up.
Do you have a business card? That would be good to have.
I know I do.
Okay.
I do, but I ran out because
Okay,
it's
that's
Sunday.
good. That's
so
very good, actually.
Also, a very good thing to have happen at conventions is run out of business cards. I mean, you're going to have a lot thrown away, but honestly, if you're talking to people and trading cards, that's probably the best way, especially this interaction, especially in a place like this where you have so many different people. I mean, I've traded.
Have a business card that stands out. Just don't get those crappy free Vistaprint ones. Like, actually spend the money. Like, my business card has rounded edges, spot gloss, and it's got a caricature drawing of me on it because I'm selling myself. And every single time somebody's like, oh my God, this is an amazing card, and they put it in their wallet. I watch them put it in their wallet instead of just throwing it away. They might throw it away later, but if you just have like a bland, just your name on white cardstock, it's not going to stand out. You want people to visually remember it.
Now, to almost his point, so you can just get basic Vistaprint cards, but here's the thing: don't use their templates.
No.
That's the biggest thing. So, my friend Lauren, you guys might know her, Lauren Crozer, she made this logo for me, and it was really just, I think I was bored at my desk one day and I drew this, and she made it look better, more professional, and aligned. So that's now my watermark, my everything. And on the front, I have a panel shot from PAX Prime 2 years ago, whatever it was. The templates are good. If you're starting out, at least you want to know how to align your words and things and keep the focal point on stuff like that. But make your card unique, specific. Like, make it to you. Because like John said, yeah, if it's just the basic, oh, I've got a camera and here's all my information and it's got a white background, it doesn't pop.
Like they were saying, have your business cards. I did a terrible thing. You don't have any business cards, but my new ones are actually clear plastic. And they with a black border, and then the inside is frame guides. Because I'm a camera operator, and so I have like the 235, 16:9 frame guides, and it's got my information on it. But you can like look through the business card as if you were looking through the camera lens.
And here we are geeking out about business cards.
Welcome to Business Cards 101.
Yeah.
All right, gentleman over there.
Yes, thank you. I do a very type-specific form of photography, and what I've noticed was that when I look at your photography from the RT, what I'm saying is it starts off as a documentation form where you're trying to document, and yet some of your photos grab out and reach and touch where they've transitioned from documentation to art. Are you doing that on purpose? And how?
Say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How
it's all on
are
purpose.
you doing that?
So I'm guessing you're talking about the ones that I've been planning. So yeah, it's 100% that. Because when I come to conventions, because for the last couple of years, my job as one of the Guardian photographers was to do coverage of the event. So you need to hit certain things that marketing is going to want. So they want fan interaction, they want crowds, they want the sponsors, they want all these things. And that's good to get and get out of the way, but that's good for them. What's going to be good for the promotion, like the grassroots style promotion, is the stuff of people cosplaying. It's like, oh, really? Okay, RTX is now a convention that there's some serious cosplaying going on at, and not just a few people who, and mind you, I'm not making a dish on all and cosplayers. Please don't take this the wrong way. It's going to sound bad no matter what. But some people who like are just getting into cosplay, as opposed to people who have done a lot more time and have grown, and now it's getting into the more extravagant styles of cosplay, I guess, is for lack of a better term.
Yeah, you suck at this.
Yeah, I know, I'm really bad. I apologize. No, honestly, I do. Yeah.
No, but you can tell who has been doing cosplay for like a month or who has been doing cosplay for like a decade. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just a matter of skill. You learn. But
Is it skill or is it art? And
both.
where does that transition?
The lines blur. It's one giant gray area.
How many
it requires.
cameras do you run at once?
I run one.
I
runs two?
Yeah, I run two. So I went with her real quick. So that is my 5D 3, which I just purchased last year. It's off right now. Good job, Dan.
He's not the one running it.
The thing about DSLRs is they have a 12-minute record time, and if you don't stay on top of it, it'll then go to sleep.
Just Press, yeah. All right, so yeah.
He's not the one running
I
it.
know, I know, I know.
Welcome
so,
to 12 minutes in the future.
Yeah.
Ooh.
People watching this on the recorded.
Yes.
So that was actually, I bought that last year for a good 4 or 5 years. I ran with this guy, the Canon 7D, and I have the 24 to 70, 7200, and 16 to 35, all 2.8. I'm a firm believer in buy good glass.
Absolutely.
Bodies you can upgrade.
Nobody will disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone will. Bodies always get updates and like changes and all that stuff. Good glass on the front of the camera is worth its weight in gold, and don't upgrade until you can't push the camera to do what you want it to do, because that's honestly why I bought that. I basically could outpace this now. I learned this camera body inside and out so I could do that, and having this right now as my second camera, because it's a crop sensor, and especially a convention environment where you're shooting panels, that gives you an extra 1.6 crop factor, so this 200 becomes a 320.
Yeah, I ran my old D300 into the ground, PAX East, 2 years ago, I think. I was working on Sheena's Mikote Lightning shoot. I don't know if you can go to the thing for that. It doesn't matter. It's in the folder.
Oh.
But I ended up, literally, my camera broke during that shoot. Yeah, I had it for about 5 years, and the shutter wasn't going anymore. So I had to manually click it as I was taking photos. So, I mean, you can run a camera into the ground. It'll serve you faithfully. And in my opinion, once you've taken all you can out of a camera, that's when you upgrade. But glass, good glass, that lasts forever.
I still use a Nikon lens on my Canon.
Yeah.
Like I used to shoot Nikon, and I had an 85 1.8, and it actually had an aperture ring on the lens, and so I bought a $40 adapter, and now I can use it on my Canon, and it is a gorgeous lens. Or sometimes I'll just go like with a lens from the 70s, which has this like little bit of fungus in it, and it gives this really cool effect, and it doesn't matter because it looks beautiful for some reason.
It looks awesome. I love that lens.
I know.
Yeah, that shoot killed my camera. It was worth it.
By the way, in case you didn't know, the average camera expectancy is 150,000 shutter clicks.
I went to 325.
Yeah.
I have 7.
So yours was well past like its
yeah.
expiration. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh Lord.
Oh, cool.
I don't feel like choosing anymore.
I didn't
Somebody
see.
else choose.
Dan, just go to the closest one. We'll work away from there.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell who was
Or
first.
start from back to forward
Yeah,
or
give
something.
We have enough time.
Give us a thing right there.
When he decided to grab the microphone and do what we told him.
I mean.
Love you, Dan.
Hi, I really appreciate all your good answers. They've been spot on. You may have answered this because I got in late, but I feel like in photography today, there's multiple ways to monetize your photographs, and most photographers do monetize their photographs multiple ways. Could you explain how you guys do that?
I don't. I have never sold actually that's a lie. I have sold one. I sold a Death of Marat at a convention to a friend. I just made a print of it and sold it. But I do photography. I used to do it for free at conventions as like a guardian or an attendee or a volunteer. I make my bread and butter in the film industry. And so photography for me is a way to keep my creative eye when I'm starting to feel burnt out. But these other guys, they actually get paid.
No. These guys get paid.
All right, let me just extend a little further.
I'll rephrase. I wish I got paid.
Okay, looks like it's just me.
Okay, well,
I'll take that.
How do you get paid?
How do I get paid? All right, let's figure out which genre we're talking about. For weddings, I charge between 2.5 and 5K. That includes a 18 to 20 hour. No, it's stupidly reasonable.
Yeah.
I've seen like 10K.
Yeah, that's. Wedding photography is expensive, and trust me, you get what you pay for.
I undercharge, unfortunately. It's like an 18 to 20 hour workday. I'm with the bride when she's getting her makeup done, when she's getting into her dress, in the car on the way there. If I have a second shooter, I'll have them with the groom. It includes literally everything. I have eyes everywhere, which is kind of creepy. Anyway, so with weddings, it's pretty upfront. With engagement shoots, it's about $250 for an hour. With cosplay, that's when you start to hit an unfortunate gray area, because it's a lot of younger people who don't either have the money to pay or don't want to pay. And and that really sucks, honestly. So with cosplay photography, I've seen people charge between $150 and $25. I tend to be around $70, $75. I mean, other than that, it's you put your work out there, and then you're like, if you want to shoot with me, this is what I charge. However, if you're selling prints, that it really depends on how much it costs to print it, how much it costs to ship it, that sort of thing. Did you want like a specific breakdown on that? Okay, cool. Yeah.
There's other ways. There are also other ways to do it. So I'm a shameless self plug here, real quick.
You do that all the time.
Well,
I thought that was your middle name.
No, it's Connor actually. But thanks for asking.
What's your first name?
I know that.
Self-promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's this thing you can get called AdSense. AdSense is primarily for YouTube, but you can also get these. Go to the bottom. Oh, it's not there. Okay, well.
Nice.
All right, so basically you can get these CSS links that go to the bottom of or the top of your albums, and that basically acts like a ad. Yeah, it's not going to show because maybe I'm logged in. Anyway. Oh, ad block's on.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yep.
Good job, Connor.
Beautiful.
Yep. So, but you can put those in web pages, and every time someone visits your website, you do get X. Now, I think you have to talk in like thousands of hits before you start making anything close to like $10 per se. But usually, like after convention stuff like this, if you can post quickly enough, I'll get enough traffic to fill a tank of gas.
That's not bad.
But I mean, as you go on and stuff like that, you can get more. If you get more people engaged and coming back to your website over and over and over again, it's the same thing with like how they put ads at the front of YouTube videos. The more YouTube videos you watch, the more ads you see, the more ad revenue comes in. And AdSense is free. They take a percentage. I think it's 30%-ish.
So then it's not free.
Well,
you sell your
There's
soul.
no upfront cost.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that's. Yeah, we're running this off my Wi-Fi hotspot off my phone because, well.
Wow.
Yeah, who else has tried to use the convention internet? Oh, there it is.
There
so,
it is.
Yeah, you get those little things at the bottom. Nothing fancy, but they are the same targeted ads that you see that Facebook says, oh, you've been looking at hard drives recently? Well, here's hard drives on every single page you're going to look at today.
It's just a way to earn small change, pretty much, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun when I was looking at cosplay supplies for when I was dressing up, and it's like, there goes all my algorithms.
You're finding blue wigs with your hammers.
Well, it was like I was like looking for myself and also my other party members to give them inspiration ideas, and it's like I should have blocked all this. I should have turned off cookies.
Should have gone incognito so it doesn't show up on your Amazon.
I did. There's things I'm new to.
On the subject of making money, have any of you ever had an issue of someone exploiting your photo?
Ooh, that is a very good question. Did I see
I have.
Oh, what?
Company that shall remain nameless took one of my photos off of my Flickr and used it in one of their YouTube videos.
Did you send a DCMA?
No. I'm not gonna say who it is, but they used one of my photos. I'm not gonna say which event, and they used it in a promotional video. And I got in touch with them and said, interesting. You do know that's one of my photos, right? And I've not given you permission to use that to promote whatever you're promoting. And it was gone. They replaced the video, they replaced the image. So, I mean, I'm glad that something came of it, but stuff like that happens.
I did this. There's this picture of Bernie I have on my Flickr where he's like with glasses and a mustache, and somebody like, I don't care if you want to post it around or whatever, but my thing is, hey, leave my watermark on it, give me credit. They took my watermark off, cropped it differently, and then put a shitty Instagram filter on it. I'm like, you know what? Here's a DMCA.
Nope.
You know, if you don't have the courtesy to just say, here's the guy who did the photo, and here is the photo as it was intended. Like, I don't care. Just share it. I don't care. But when you destroy it, yeah, here comes the hammer. And Connor, remember the video of the Guardian high five I showed you?
Oh God.
Oh, the one that.
That music video?
God. Yeah, the video that they made into a porno.
Yeah.
What? So I have a.
You're welcome, Connor.
Yep,
for bringing this up.
Yep. at the end of every convention, or the past couple of conventions, RTX, the Guardians have the Guardian Wall that escorts everyone out of the thing. Well, of course, there's a little hype thing that goes on, like, we must protect this house, must protect this house, yada, yada, yada.
No way in, no way out.
So I was not going to say that. But Chris and Mary do like a high five run up and down, so I followed them with the camera. Well, about 2 months later, John and a whole bunch of other people sent me the video.
It got posted on Reddit, what the fuck, which is how like everybody found it.
Oh, that's not
And
good.
I'll spare you the details, but it was...
It's about anal prolapse.
I was going to spare the details, but
Welcome to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Bravo.
DMCA, thank the Lord, that worked out pretty quickly. But I will say, unfortunately, if you're a photographer, people are going to take your work. People are going to crop it. That's why getting your stuff out there and having just having a place where it all sits, so like your personal website or a Flickr or like Tumblr is my worst nightmare, especially post RTX. I know she has it much worse. I've seen some of the rage, but just you have to almost accept that that's going to be an end result, and take the nice road first. Always be like, hey, it's my photo. Can you please credit me?
You obviously haven't done this enough, because I just send a DMCA now.
Yeah.
Like I've got that on lockdown. I have so many emails that I'm sending those.
Yeah,
I
Tumblr was
don't
where I
even
found
ask
my
anymore.
screwed up Bernie picture. I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, I don't ask anymore because it shouldn't have happened in the first place, and all they're going to give me is excuses, so I'm sitting at DMCA. That's it.
Yeah.
Next.
Any more questions? Oh, wow, more questions.
Hey.
Okay.
All right,
Lord.
yeah,
We hit a nerve. Figure it out, Dan. You're on your own.
I believe in you.
Could I ask 2 questions?
Yeah, sure.
It
If they're quick.
depends.
Well,
Oh.
all right.
3.
I'll just ask one. For someone wanting to maybe look into getting into photography, what are some common amateur mistakes you'd recommend avoiding?
What type of photography did you say?
Just getting started?
With what type? Style in particular? Event, portrait, so on and so forth?
I don't know.
Okay.
If you're working with people, never touch them.
Okay.
Show them what you want. Do not ever touch them. That's a big thing I see people trying to do, and it makes them really uncomfortable. You guys got anything?
Practice, experiment,
Yeah.
give yourself challenges on a daily basis. It's fun.
Don't be afraid to go high or go low. Most people will always shoot from eye height. Get down low, get up high, get weird angles. They're going to get your most interesting shots that way.
I was doing a shot with Sam in her laser team costume yesterday, and I was literally on the floor, just like shooting up. I was just like kind of rolling on the floor. So yeah, don't be afraid to. Okay, no, I've also climbed trees. And waterfalls. Okay, that was the worst idea in the world, by the way.
You will be all
And
over the
did you
place.
stick to the rivers
So get
like
the
you used
camera
to?
away from eye height. Just get it wherever. Tom?
You got any?
You good?
Any tips?
Look for the photos
Honestly-
people aren't taking. You know, I always like saying, what?
The biggest tip I can give
Just the tip.
is
No.
no.
No, he said just the tip, and I said no.
Oh, okay. Wow, you really can't hear anything up here. The biggest tip I would just say is take the shots, edit a bunch of different ways, and figure out what feels right to you. Once you can figure out, like, this is the type of shot I like and feel right with, that will get you through, that'll get you past so much of the nervousness that you get from taking photos. And, like, everyone makes the same mistakes. As long as you keep trying, that's the most important thing, because you're not going to get better unless you try.
Also, if you want more solid advice, another thing to remember is that people can't hold poses. Have them hold a pose for like 3 seconds, and then they move. Or the way I shoot is I shoot people mid-motion, because unless you're like a professional model, you're not going to be able to hold the pose at all. It's just unnatural, honestly.
No, we talk about personal space, and I think I was having a conversation with Connor. Why? Hello there.
They're friends.
I was always torn as a photographer about how much I should take photos of someone when something's personal is happening. For example, Griffin's hanging out with Millie. I don't want to take photos of Millie because for whatever reason I just didn't want photos of Millie just being on the internet. So I just wouldn't.
Absolutely.
But Another example, which hits a little closer to home, was when a few years ago, Monty was just dancing with Anna
Yeah.
at the end of the
Oh,
event.
yeah,
I
that
didn't
one.
want to take photos because I wanted to let them enjoy that moment. I didn't want to get my camera in their face. But now, looking back on it, I wish I had.
Well, the thing is, though, there are certain moments that you don't want to interrupt. There are certain things that you see it and you're like, okay, you kind of get that gut feeling and you don't want to take that because there's private moments that you just don't want to intrude on, you know?
Yeah, so
And if you do happen to intrude, like I have this beautiful shot of Jeff and Millie from like one of the first PAX East. I said, hey, I got this great shot of you and your daughter. Would you like me to send it to you? I sent it to just them.
And that's it.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what you do. Like, because you're doing event photography or whatever, you're gonna get in somebody's personal space sometimes, even if you're not meaning to. If you get a beautiful shot between father and daughter, give it to them and let it be.
So the mistake I'm making here is that I'm assuming that getting in someone's personal space means basically not doing that. You know, just take the photo and let them decide if they're okay with it.
Pretty much.
Almost.
That's what I usually. I mean, because sometimes you'll have great shots. All right, we got 10 minutes, so lightning round.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you guys recommend any specific editing programs for your shots.
Lightroom.
Lightroom. That was lightning. All right, cool. Lightning.
Yeah.
Coming from the other side of the camera, quick question. Like, when you work with cosplayers, do you prefer them to know what they're doing or to pose them for you?
It depends on if they're a big fan of the series or not. If they just like the outfit and they don't know the series, I have a lot more research to do. Oh, Lord.
Yep.
He hasn't
All
asked
All
him
right.
yet.
Two simple questions. One, what photographers do you guys follow? Do you recommend everyone else follow? Two, do you have any business cards to hand out? Because I love your concert work. I'm a concert photographer myself, and I'd love to see more.
Cards, yes. Photographer, Jared Polin, a.k.a.
Fro knows
Fro
photo.
knows photo.
Yeah.
He's a Nikon shooter, really, really good.
Von Wong and Zhang Jingnan.
Yeah.
Daniel Goldsworthy?
Ooh, nice.
Ansel Adams.
Oh, nice. All right. Just go across as you go.
Hi. Following your Twitter feed, all I hear are horror stories about Lightroom. Why do you guys keep using it?
Lightroom? Oh, Lord. Oh, me. You've probably seen my Twitter feed. I use it because okay, when it's behaving, it makes it really easy for me to watermark the images correctly and to do just quick passovers. I'm able to do major wedding batch processing for like 500 photos, and I can set it and I can leave. That's about it.
Lightroom is a very resource-heavy program. It literally will take, when you are rendering out photos, it will take every amount of RAM and CPU it can. So it does cause problems if you have a...
Really shitty computer.
Yeah, that word.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Next.
Next.
He's right there.
Can you explain a little bit more what a DMCA is and how you're
Digital
using it?
Millennium Copyright Act. It's something that got enacted, I guess, around the millennium, where it's basically a copyright notice. You can just, they have forms online. If you Google DMCA, you can get the templates and stuff, and it's basically saying, this is mine.
Take it down.
These are the rules for using it. You broke those rules. You need to take it down, or else there could be repercussions.
No, send it.
You would send it directly to the person in violation.
So in the case of my case, for that photo on YouTube, there's actually very clear guidelines, and it's you can
Yeah,
you
YouTube
can
has
hit something.
YouTube has like a button
Procedure, yeah.
procedure. But like for me, in the Tumblr person, I had to like go to their Tumblr account, find their email,
Oh,
and
Jesus
send
Christ.
send
Fucking
over
Tumblr.
the DMCA to them. So.
I love that site,
All right.
but I hate it.
All right,
I love
next.
it.
Rapid fire.
Goggles.
Do you guys have a dream shoot you want to do in the future? Well, I kind of imagine Sonia's being more Jason Todd related, of course.
Hey. Jaybird. I was supposed to go to MCM this year, and there's a phenomenal Arkham Knight cosplayer out there, and I really wanted to see if I could get in contact with them to work with them, because Arkham Knight in London, oh my god. But it's not going to happen, so I recently did one of my mountain. Can you go to the picture?
Working for it.
I'm a huge fan of Mushishi. It's one of my favorite shows, and it's in the
This
before
one?
and after. No, before and after.
While he's looking for that, my dream is an all-expense paid nature photography shoot to Fiji. That's my dream shoot.
Yep.
So this was shot in
Perrier
the
commercial.
mountains, and I finally got to go out there and do this shoot, which makes me so happy. So that was one of my dream shoots. Yes, got it done. What about you?
Well, I'd love to actually take advantage of Vancouver's mountains and ocean to actually do some shoots inspired by the superheroes and the shows that are around Vancouver.
Yes.
You know, you've got Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, had Flash Gordon, X-Files, Twilight movies were made there.
Vancouver.
So
Would you want to do a Twilight shoot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I'd like to just take advantage of the scenery that's there to try and pay homage to all of the productions that have been in Vancouver over the years.
Honestly, I don't think I have a dream shoot. I just want to keep shooting. And honestly, the things that I like to go after are the shots no one else can get. So you're behind the scenes, you're places that are just not seen normally by the public eye. That's the coolest stuff for me. So that's what I always like to do.
Next.
Next.
I think we
There's
got
another
one.
Are we
Time
good?
for one or two
Oh,
more.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yep.
Hey, Sam.
We can get 3 if we move fast.
How you doing?
Hello. So, when you're working with people who don't know what they're doing, what's your approach?
I'm going to do a quick story real quick. So for one of the Monty shots, 2 of them on here, actually, it's on the green screen before they move to stage 5. No.
No?
Of Monty.
Oh.
The blue one.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. I'll find it.
It was my first shoot with him, and he was really uncomfortable in front of the camera. He didn't know what to do, so I had him put on some K-pop, and I had him dance. And it worked. So if you're uncomfortable, tell your photographer. They'll help you.
From the video standpoint, we do a thing called 50-50. If
Ooh,
like
that's
somebody's
nice,
really
yeah.
uncomfortable, what 50-50 means basically when they think we're cut and we're doing a rehearsal is when we're actually rolling. Because cause when people realize the camera is rolling and it's on them, they clam up sometimes. So if they think, all right, let's just do a rehearsal, get a feel for it, 50-50. And that means roll it. So, any more, or should we go to another question?
We got 2 more. We got time for 2 more, real quick.
Red shirt.
Red shirt.
Don't die.
Please be careful.
You're expendable.
I'll try not to die. Basically, just simply, what are your driving forces and your motivations behind photography? Is it along the lines of like just general enjoyment, hobby, emotional connection?
I'm greedy. I want to know everything. I want to be really good. I'm never satisfied with what I do, ever. But I want to know more. So, greed.
For me, photography is like my reset button when I'm like getting real burnt out or like just down. I love nature, so I'll just go out and just be at peace almost,
You should go to the mountains with me next time.
Totes.
For me, it was always, in the early part of it, was trying to capture something special. I didn't take the photos for myself. I took them for the people or the situations that were happening in the photos because they can't experience that. They can't be in my shoes and do that at that moment. So I was always trying to just capture a moment, something special for them, something that they can look back on and they can remember. And, you get a bit more, I think, something out of it when you're not trying to do it for yourself. You're trying to do it for something else.
Next.
He stole my answer. Yes, same thing.
Yeah.
I take photos because I want to have memories and have that be a well of information to bring people back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Hello again.
Hello again. So several of you talked about being shooting as a guardian. Is that under the media? Because I applied last year, saw the broadcasting media kind of section. Should I prepare a portfolio for that? What kind of special things do you need?
So the photography guardian team was disbanded after last year, so that does not exist anymore. I actually came this year on my own name as media. The best thing, I guess, you'd be the best one to ask because you come.
There was actually, I was the guardian the first year who was taking photos at RTX 2011, and then it went away. And it came back again in 2013.
2013, 2014, and 2015.
Okay, so we didn't have it this year. Does that mean it'll come back next year? Maybe.
It may.
Who knows?
All right. Well,
but yeah, I guess if you're interested, get a portfolio together. The thing with guardians is they tend to rehire guardians. Like I was a guardian for a number of years, and if you're a returning guardian, you kind of get priority unless you really screw up. Like sexual harassment or something like that's happened before. So don't do that. And as long as there's a spot opening and you have a decent portfolio, you could probably have a chance.
I think the best person to ask about this would be, because if they don't have an answer, they'd certainly be able to inquire
Mary.
further, would be Chris and Mary. They're the two head guardians.
Yes.
And if there's interest, then they'd probably consider maybe doing it again. Or
I would say wait a little bit after RTX because they're completely swamped right now, and then the post-mortem. So they've been working their asses off, so give them a chance to breathe before we start hounding them about photography team next year.
Yeah.
I've been attending as media for the past 5 years. Have a portfolio ready, have a website, have samples, and you are going to need a business card front and back, an email, and a portfolio. That's it.
All right, and that's all of it. So let's go through the plugs, unless.
Do we really?
We have a question from the internet.
Oh, no.
Oh, God, the internet.
Mindfall Media. What is the most difficult photo you've ever had to edit, both emotionally and or technically?
Really, Corey? Really?
Last one.
The toughest photo to...
Well, I can tell you the toughest photo, honestly, was when Monty passed away. One of my photos of him was on the Wikimedia Commons, so it just got posted everywhere. So it was really weird seeing that photo around a lot of places.
It's really strange actually going back through my photos because the one of Pyrrha and Cinder, that was particularly tough, but it was also kind of fun because I got to tell Monty what to do. That one was a little rough. Other than that, I've been going back through my backlog, especially for the con photography, and the ones where he's with everyone up top smiling and I have to get all those put together, that's always a little bit rough.
Technically, I think it would probably be my Childish Gambino shot because it was in not very well lit environment with like LED backgrounds, like all these colors casting over them, and dark complexion. Emotionally, it would be like one I did of my friend David after he had passed away. Pretty much, I think anybody who's going to say like every emotional one will be a former
who's
loved
gone.
one, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, thank you, Internet.
We are out of time. So real quick, plugs starting at the end.
What am I plugging?
Your name.
Your name.
Oh,
all that crap.
John on Twitter, also at Dungeon Drunks on Twitter.
Count 3D everywhere.
Sonia Carter. I'm Soulfire Photography.
Connor MacRae Media for the website. Dark Bowler everywhere else.
All right. Thank
All
you,
right.
guys. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for coming. And thank you to one internet person.
I do have business cards, and in case you're bored, I will be doing a Twitch stream on Tuesday where I edit everything of RTX, or at least until I fall asleep.
Talk about it.
Yeah, well, thank you all very, very much.